Daydreamin' is an absolute master at these things, and his Blitzcrank, after yesterday's game, he said, live by the hook, die by the hook, and that's what Coast does now that they have Daydreamin'.
Absolutely. Picks and bans on your screen. Game 2 here at the LCS. We got 4 to do today, and they're going to be amazing. The first one already going down in favor of Vulcan over Cloud9, so you got to know this one as well, getting up to that bar that was just set.
Yeah, and Curse doesn't want to play the Blitzcrank gamble game. They're saying, no way, we're not letting you pull us around Daydreamin', which is surprising actually, because Edward has been playing a lot of Blitzcrank himself. So they're really just saying that they would rather not even have that opportunity open for themselves instead of just banning it away from Daydreamin'.
Rush is still alive in the picks and bans here, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was the first one that they went for.
That could be it. I know that St. Vicious is having nightmares about X Specials Thresh. He's like, Edward, you could do the same, right? Then they just can't pick Jarvan against us. That'll work.
That was absolutely ridiculous. And the consistency, the 3 out of 3, one was missed, then he did it late game, so it wasn't a fluke. That's him, the backwards play on the fadeaway. Just absolutely amazing play. And he's all-star Specials.
Yeah, all-star Edward. Edward's the real Thresh Prince. Come on, that's what everyone was talking about. X Special may have stolen the title away from him, taken the King's belt
for a quick moment
away from him, but Curse is really taking their time with this first pick because there's so many different options they could go for. If they go for Thresh, that's also taking it away from Daydreamin', who before he joined was super big, but there's all those other power picks available, like the Jace.
You can see Edward on your screen actually weighing in quite a bit on these picks. Probably said, still feel comfortable if you want to grab the strong top lanes.
I think it's safe for them to pick just because Voyboy has performed very well on Jace in the past. I'm going to disregard these Coast picks right now because we're just going to wait for them.
I want the second one so bad because that's where it came from, but we're okay. It's not going to happen.
I really do think that Coast has to get that Jarvan right now, and I think they want to get Thresh right now as well, but wow.
I like it.
That's a bold move.
Daydreamin's Nami is spectacular, though.
He's been playing a fair bit of it, especially in the LCS, and it's almost the same as like live by the hook, die by the hook from Blitzcrank, because landing bubbles on that champion is like throwing marbles at stuff. It's so incredibly difficult to land, but Daydreamin' is a skill shot lover as far as support goes, and he looks to make plays, so Nami is a good fit for him, but of course it leaves open Thresh if Edward wants it whenever. They don't even have to pick it now. Yeah,
the hands have been shown, but not much has been shown. Obviously Jarvan's going into the jungle, may go mid lane, but Shifter, that's not his pool of champions. Nijaki looking to pick up the Draven for Cop. That would be fantastic. St. Vicious doesn't like the Elise. It's actually been left open. Alrighty then.
Well, they like the Elise in a solo lane.
They like the Elise. I didn't think they were just going to lock it in right there.
This makes it a little curious because I believe this would be Nijaki's Jace, like we saw yesterday against TSM, and most likely Voyboy's Elise, Cop's Draven. This is the same lineup that Curse ran yesterday against TSM, but they can't get the Jarvan this time, obviously, because Nintendo Next has picked it away. So I actually wonder what St. Vicious' next default's going to be, since the rest of Curse's team is pretty much the same they did yesterday.
He likes that Zac definitely has the same kind of get into the fight like Jarvan. You can get into those special gank spots that really, we heard Clanky D, the lover of Jarvan, kind of explain why he used him in the beginning. So still Zac is open. Looking for some damage dealers here coming in for Coast. The pickup's going to be Mashmi's Caitlyn. Pretty orthodox there.
And even the Zed is very orthodox as far as Coast goes. Shifter really started the season spamming Zed games, and he was very successful on it. The type of pressure that Zed can create, since he can both farm from range and deny the enemy mid laner from having the safety to farm from range, it creates a different level and a different set of rules in mid lane if you have a champion like Zed in there. So Shifter picking that solidly. Coast is going for the very strong lanes thus far.
Yeah, they do lock in the Nautilus, so St. Vicious obviously bringing out Nautilus actually, I think, back at MLG, the last MLG we had in week 5 when they played against I think they played against KT, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he also has played it at the All-Star game, so that's his kind of go-to for international competition, so he's definitely comfortable on that champion. If they go with the Thresh, going to go for a bit of a Hook City, even though they don't have the Blitzcrank going in. That would make the most sense for me, as a very aggressive, shieldy team would be able to fly in with that. Good picks for Curse.
I like it. They have good initiation. They don't have the disengage so much. They have the box they run away, but that could definitely be worked around. And we see one more pick to come in here. We are going to see what they get for the top laner to come in on the match. Coast just flipping around as Daydreamin' is going to be the last.
It would give Coast way too much physical damage, but I'd love to see a Tryndamere here. I think they're going to go with something like a Rumble or a Rise, but I could be completely off. They're messing around a bit here. even though Tryndamere is kind of the top lane counter to a Jace, and there's most likely Jace in mid lane, it would still be fun to watch in this setting, but the Rumble does make the most sense.
Yeah, you're missing a bit of ability power here on the team, as well as a nice chunk of AoE damage. So they lock down the Rumble. They're going to be able to get themselves into a pretty good fight phase in the game when it gets to it, but we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. We've got to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more LCS at MLG Anaheim. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. MLG Anaheim kicking off LCS Game 2 here on Championship Sunday. The standings of the LCS really flopping around this week, being filled out a little bit more. Our 4 or 5 second places have kind of been switched around. So now into our Curse versus Coast game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Curse fan, they want to hear you in the box. Shout it out for Curse. All right.
Love bringing the live audience in here. Really reeks of traditional sports here. It's awesome.
Yes.
Who wants Team Coast to take this one? Let them hear it now.
Still some Coast fans in that crowd. Obviously, Curse, a very long-standing organization, is going to have those historical backers that they've always had coming, the signs, the fans, the people to always be backing that Curse squadron. So as we start, looks like Curse goes ahead. They lock themselves in as we go back into the game, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to get underway. Now Coast versus Curse on the Rift.
Right on, and back into the game. Level 1 didn't really have much action here. Curse aggressively invaded. A couple of them went back. You can see Edward and Kopp have already went back to base, so that's a 3-man delayed invade. Maybe trying to catch something off. I'm not entirely sure what Curse has planned here. They can see Zion Spartan running by, so that should tell them that the red would be free to steal. This could be a very good level 1 play by Curse.
Coast doing everything they need to, but Curse doing a little bit more. They are going to get the steal here. Void Boy's going to make it to the top lane, missing 0 experience on that one. And I don't think they're going to be able to make it over to that red.
And this
it actually is, yes.
Yeah, this is real smart. This is real smart by Curse because they counter jungled the blue while giving the red to Kopp, and a level 2 gank by Sandfishes on Zion.
Oh, Zion's probably going to have to flash on this one. He does, but they get the passive lockdown. The anchor toss to still be there. No, he couldn't. He took 2. He took what he needed in the jungle.
Hey, it burned the flash, and it got him incredibly low in that lane, which should give Void Boy a lot of freedom. Now we're seeing Coast try to react since Coast just realized that their buffs are gone. They've seen the red buff in bottom lane on Kopp and the red buff in top lane on Sandfishes. So Nintendo X and Daydream are actually trying to make a reactive play diagonally across the map to get a blue buff back.
See if they can make their way in. A beautiful blown flash on that Rumble up top. We've heard Colby say multiple times, Rumble is that person that 2v1 ganks can sometimes be troublesome if he is that one. Void Boy, he's trying to get it back though. Zion Spartan, no flash. Void Boy flash ignite, and it looks like they go back and forth. The sliver of health on each side. Oh my
One
gosh.
more spell from either one of these guys would have been able to decide it. They both just drank all of their health potions. They're just ticking up in health. That gank really was a catalyst for some action.
There's a game of cat and mouse going on right below them. Nintendo Dex and Edward just going back and forth here. Now leaving the lane. No summoners here for Zion Spartan. His positioning is going to have to be perfect. That grab may have meant big things, but Coast is just collapsing on the blue.
They really wanted to make sure they got the experience of this blue buff back onto the rest of his team. So it was double red to Curse and a double blue buff to Coast. But Nintendo Dex actually just renewing his blue buff, and now he might actually try to take that to gank Void Boy while Cop is bottom.
Void Boy coming up with an early ward. He knows what's happening. Nintendo Dex just taking a bit of lane tax here with the key. They pressure the turret some, but they're not going to get much out of it. They have to realize with Nintendo Dex showing up top, where is Saint going?
And we got to keep in mind that Edward's just been roaming this entire game as well. So it's actually been Cop 1v1 against Shifter, and he's beaten him up enough now that Shifter is probably either drinking all his health potions or going back to base, because just 1v1 since Cop started with that awesome red buff has really allowed him to not only beat Zed in lane 1v1, but it's allowed Edward to roam.
Roam indeed. It's a level 4 to a level 2 Edward right now. You can see that Cop coming in with him. They're able to just push this off the turret without any worry.
Normally you need a jungler to pull that off. So very good play there early on by Curse. You can see just by the lane game, 600 gold lead. There's been no kills or turrets taken down, strictly out farming them and outmaneuvering.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, everybody voted with voices here, but you can vote online, hashtag CRS, hashtag CST. You can see an update live on the Twitter ticker on the screen.
Oh, flash!
Play that one fast. The bubble goes on the backside. It did not hit. Daydreaming low. The ignite is on. The last tick is there. Oh, he's in the melee form, but he does get it. And it looks like they might be able to finish off Mashmi. The passive there for the hit. No, it's not. Saint just on the outside.
And Mashmi really wanted to go in for a kill there on Nijaki, but that was a good gank by Saint. And he really needed it too, since Saint was actually only level 3 after all of the things he's been having to deal with, getting the double red with the gank top, and just the back and forth he had with Nintendo Dex should allow Saint to stay in this game and potentially pick up some quick boosts.
This is the first time we're seeing Nintendo down in the bottom. He's done experience soak-up duty now in the top lane and the bottom lane. The mid was just left, so the one kill being slowed down a little bit because Nintendo Dex is making himself present in every lane.
And this is what Nintendo Dex did a lot of yesterday in their victory. He spent an inordinate amount of time early just holding lanes, and it allowed Team Coast to come a little bit ahead in the turret game, even if it set him back a little bit in farm. He's trying to do the same thing again, but while he's doing so, Curse is actually punishing the lanes much harder than Coast had them punished against them yesterday.
Pretty hard objective reaching here, looking for a 6-minute turret in that bottom lane. No turrets for this, or no minions for this one, but that next wave will surely mean that Cop and Edward are going to start roaming even more to that mid lane or even top if they swap it up.
It's looking pretty good. Cop hasn't even had to shop yet while just dominating that lane, so when he does, he'll get a whole heap load of gold. He should be able to pick up an early BF sword on Draven, and since Saint hasn't really had to pay attention to that lane, that is just all wins for Curse.
And what is going to be the decision here? If Nijaki isn't feeling pressured, they'll send the double AD carry support up top, or is it going to be to counteract the double AD mid now?
I think at this point, since Nijaki's holding that mid lane so well and Saint is coming with him, that Curse may actually send their duo lane top just to try to get the easier turrets down, since it's harder for a Nintendo Dex to send extended support up top lane, and that would also open up maybe more Dragon opportunities for Curse to take later.
Good wardage coming in from Daydreaming, keeping that mid lane safe, supporting to the fullest effect on that lane. Again, we see Nintendo Dex back into the laning phase. Jarvan's the aggressive jungler in the beginning, but he knows it's just about soaking up the experience. Like you said, it's okay to be a little behind for him.
It's definitely the way he plays, because he likes trying to keep his solo lanes involved in the game, and he needs to do a little bit more of that because his solo lanes are losing right now. You look at Void Boy versus Zion, it's a 18 minion kill advantage now, and mid lane it's 35 to 28, even though they've both been in 1v2, so all of Curse's lanes winning by a bunch right now, and a 20% early gold lead already there.
Mashmi getting those boots to keep his distance in mid, but Cop taking a BF sword right off the bat. That's going to be damage to health bars and turret health bars. So looking to grab fast turrets here in the eyes of Curse.
And what happened here actually is when we guessed that they would go top, they decided to go mid instead because they want buff control and dragon control. Plus, they knew Nintendo Dex was already off top lane, so they'd have a window to get some more stuff done. Nice steal and nice pressure mid by Curse.
Really moving the chess pieces a few steps ahead of where they need to be, making things happen before they need it. Zion Spartan in the top lane. The Q goes out. Wasn't enough just off the bat. The shield from Scrap comes in, but is he going to be able to make it back? That's 8 seconds. Voyboy walks through the turret. Keep going, Zion. Tries to get the first harpoon. Second one lands. It's go. Oh, he missed. He gets into the bush. Is able to activate. It's not on cooldown.
Voyboy knew he'd be able to chase him down. It did have to burn his flash, though.
Matter of time.
The amount of turret shots he meant means he's been dominating Zion in that lane.
Yeah.
And it was kind of coming since the early level 2 gank that St. Fish has pulled up there. Even though it was almost traded back by Zion Spartan, let Voyboy have a bit of that early lead.
8.5 minutes, 4 strong in mid for Curse, and the only thing they have really here to clear this out is a Peacemaker and some traps sitting up in front for re-engage. Curse doesn't want any of that, and they just go back to the jungle until they can find the next turret.
I'm a little surprised Curse didn't try to run down for a dragon right after that, but you can see Jackie's mana is actually incredibly low with that early tier of the goddess. All Jackie's trying to do right now is get to as fast a Mura mana as possible, as most mid Jaces have been doing lately. And since Team Coast is a little bit on the run right now, Curse isn't afraid of Coast taking a dragon, and Curse is going to probably go for it at their leisure.
That may be the first time Shifter crossed that blue, knowing that it's down, they won't have that icon back, but he's going to try to get a push in this bottom lane, telling the team not to engage in mid, but it may be necessary to keep his turret up.
Yeah, it's about Daydream and maybe landing a double bubble while Nintendo Dex is going down, but Nintendo Dex can't find good gank paths because of how deeply into Coast jungle Curse has been able to ward. If you look at the buff area, even where St. Fish is camping, they're invading deep into Coast territory right here, and it's giving them that map advantage.
And it looks like they're trying to get a quick assassination on the bottom lane here, saying nobody's here, don't worry about it, we'll just jump on you when you get close enough.
Yeah, this is a little sneaky. Nintendo Dex was seen about 30 seconds ago walking towards this lane, so Jackie may suspect there's someone in the midst, and that's why he's just kind of going off to do something else, because even though it would be nice to be able to farm this lane, it's dangerous. It's just a matter of how patient does he think Coast has actually been.
Oh, Jackie, don't get in your own head. You are playing this beautifully right now. He does wait, and he is probably really proud of himself for this moment.
He knew it, man. Maybe someone was telling him, Jackie, don't do anything dumb. You don't need to go out there. He's
but
like,
you also have to consider they have the the raid war. Wow, the ward at Wraiths. There we go, easy English. We also have the wards going down the bottom side. So they were knowing that the jungler is also not where he just was, and High isn't anywhere. Yeah, High on Zed. Shifter isn't anywhere either. So that was great play, just over map control.
And the wards are just walking Nintendo Dex around the map. It seems anywhere Curse puts a ward down, Nintendo Dex is just going to walk over it, unbeknownst to him, as just happened with that Tri-Brush, and it's allowed Edward and Kopp to keep the safety in this mid lane.
So as you look at those 2 kills on the board, that is one going to Nye. Jackie able to pick that up, as well as Voyboy. Voyboy definitely one of the tide turners for Team Curse. He can make or break these fights and definitely want the one to be soaking up the kills. Going for the early pen build, and you can see Zion Spartan not trying to build the HP because it would hurt him against Elise. He's going for the straight magic resistance.
He's just trying to decrease the amount of poke Voyboy's destroying him right now. Right. Level 9 is like the best point in the game for the Elise lane.
Hurts a little bit.
Because it's the highest point for her missing health or current health and missing health Qs from ranged and melee respectively. And I just got to say how much momentum is factoring in for Curse right here, because this is probably the best early game I've seen Curse play all year, and it's coming off that great comeback yesterday.
Zion Spartan steps in the bush. The scrap shield has already been hit up, and Voyboy no man on this one, but he's trying to get the last Q. Executes out, he gets it. The repel, he's out. The minions helping him out so much there. Wow.
And that's the level 9 spike from Elise. How many times in that exact top rush have we seen a level 9 Elise just camp in it, wait for someone to walk, land the cocoon, and then full combo someone? Zion Spartan just walked into it and was not patient enough sitting in his turret. He wanted to try to get something back.
St. Vicious going with the patented, knowing he's ahead, mobility boots right off the bat, and that is allowing each one of these lanes to continue snowballing. Already the Jace doing some extreme damage, and only the double sword tier for him right now.
So 2 turrets now. This might be the moment where Curse decides to go for the dragon. Voyboy's running out of base. They know Zion Spartan's ultimate is down. And if Coast wanted to try to fight, they could either barely save the game or just keep falling a little bit farther behind in this fight, because they're already down 4K gold. Nintendo Dex really wants a dragon steal here, maybe even a fight.
Everybody just splits the wave in half there. 3-point shot by Daydreaming. It looks like they're just going to walk out of this one.
Look out!
Draven, the pull in the box! so much AoE damage.
And that's the danger of trying to contest a dragon against a team you're already losing badly against, because instead of just giving up the 750 dragon gold, they give up 2 extra kills and all the other rewards that come from that. So 5-0 now, and a crisp, clean 13-minute dragon for Curse.
That was a really great fight for Coast to come into as well. They went parallel on it. That's what you want to do to Dragon. You don't want to be pinched into one spot, but they realized we can't stand together. We take Jay's shock blast to the face, and they kind of hurt. So we'll see if they can coordinate their fights a little better. They got, as Kobe would say, a little hyphy trying to get in to just stop the Dragon. And
once they went too far, it was Voy Boy's chance to just come in from the side. That's what forced the flashes out. That's what funneled everyone on Coast in towards the wall, because they wanted to run away from 2 points at once, and they just got grouped up.
13.5 minutes in, a 5-0 kill lead for Curse. A nice 6,000 gold lead that they're sitting on right now, and that's pretty far ahead of the game. That could be a few items being finished for teammates. That Bloodthirster in the bottom lane. Zion Spartan getting help. Depth charge from the backside. It doesn't look good, chat.
He is just dead to rights. That lane has not been going well for Zion Spartan. 105 to 55. Voy Boy is 2-0-2. Everyone on Curse is just playing close to perfect right now, and it's crazy because all the reactions from the Curse players after yesterday's game was how relieved they felt and how much better they felt after finally winning a game, especially against TSM, and that is carrying over so strongly to this match.
Oh my gosh, one after the other. Welcome to the jam. Nijaki getting another kill on the Jace.
It's the confidence playing right there. They know exactly what they can do, they know they have a lead, and they're back in their groove right now, Riv.
7-0, definitely a lucky number 7 for them right now. Voy Boy's still going in. He has been turret diving all day, but he chooses not to on that one. He holds back just for this one.
And it's now the triple lane push, and this is what teams do when they're up 7,500 gold at 14 minutes.
Oh,
there's a bit of confidence.
The cleanse Poland. Very cheeky move there by Mashme. And overall, even more so, I like Voy Boy's choice in the bottom lane, because they got the top turret, and his dive wouldn't have allowed him to stay here.
Look at Safe dive.
Oh, Safe Fish is going to the back. He flashes to get the lockdown on the Daydreamin'. This guy's focus is so good right now.
They are just so confident diving in near the Nexus turrets, and boy, Curse 8-0 right now, working on their 4th turret. This is the best game they played all year.
Absolutely methodical. They are surgically removing any threat from the map and pushing forward at the exact perfect times that they need to. 15 minutes in, our last talk about something they did was at 13 minutes. So it's every I'd say 2 minutes, because that's 13 to 15, Jat. Every 2 minutes they're coming up with something big, and it's never been answered yet by Team Coast.
And it's getting to the point where it may be a little bit too hard to answer, because what is this now? 8,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. Some of the biggest, to me, like the line of comebacks is 6,000 gold at 16 minutes, because that was the Marn comeback that we saw way back at the start of the Season 3 qualifiers, and we actually almost never see comebacks from gold larger than this. So Curse has had some trouble closing out games this season, but a game like this looks like they're in full control.
Curse has everything to fight in the early game here. More damage from Voy Boy, the percent damage right away. Zion not really getting his ultimate off in any engagement yet. I haven't really seen Equalizer come out in these fights, and they need to start grouping, because their power in lanes by themselves is not going to start winning them.
And a lot of the reason that Zion Spartan's not getting his ult off in fights is because Voy Boy kills him, and then Voy Boy goes and fights. So it's not like Coast has much of a choice in the matter at this point. Zion Spartan's still not even level 11. He really needs to get level 11 for that Equalizer. In fact, nobody on Coast is level 11, whereas Jackie and Voy Boy are 11 and 12. Yeah. So you get about 500 plus gold per level on top of this giant gold lead they already have.
That's 500 gold in kind of statistics.
Stats, yes. Should clarify.
So 17 minutes in, that gold lead creeping to 8,000 now. Only 3 turrets is what Curse has managed, but they've made it seem like so much more. They're really working this slow and steady. They're not putting themselves in a dangerous spot. The hard hats are on, but they're doing everything they need to right now. Shifter getting pushed back in the top lane. They always have a 2 versus 2 engagement.
And it's still so early in the game that Curse is getting the most benefit off just doing this.
As Zion Spartan the flame spitter, but he's got to turn around every time to get it. There it is. Voy Boy going down again, and he has just been all over Zion this game.
He is so on point right now, knowing exactly how and when to tower dive Zion Spartan. It almost seemed like if Zion would have stayed under the turret, he may have served a chance, but as soon as he went outside, Voy Boy could repel through the turret range and get the execute bite onto Zion Spartan.
And we'll just how much of a detriment that lane has been. It is hurting them, and it's the pressure that Curse has put. 142 minions to 69, 0-4 and 0 to 302, and he hasn't finished that haunting guys even.
He's not even close to having money right now. He's at 3,300 gold at 18 minutes. I mean, Cop has 7,000 gold, double the gold of Zion Spartan. This is very impressive by the entire Curse team.
A lot of zeros down the line as Curse pulls up 9-0 on the scoreboard. Another turret as well as they make that to 6-0 just on the backside of Jarvan. Edward misses a grab. They back out once again with really now taking a scratch on an advantage.
They can just go pick up a dragon shortly in 30 seconds as well. They may go try and pick up another kill on Zion Spartan. The world is their oyster right now because they picked really strong in this game as well. Waiting on the Thresh pick, you know, letting Coast go into the Nami, just getting all the comfort champions, even though they're slightly nerfed comfort champions from the spring split like we talked about earlier, but that doesn't matter for Curse because it's how you play the champion that really matters.
And you can see, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wards, just not even, their jungle's blacked out. They know nothing's happening in their jungle. They have a complete security system in the side of Coast right now, and pink wards to come in to make sure those wards aren't cleared, and they have a clear advantage completely.
It's just smart warding. It would be quite a sneaky move if Coast could somehow get into the Curse jungle undetected, because every single movement path for Coast is taken up. So even if Coast wanted to try and sneak a dragon, they would essentially just give themselves more death.
Curse grabbing this one up. Boy in the bottom lane gets hit up, and he's going to say, yeah, I am here. Volatile spider damage missing on some minions, but Boy chases out. Nijaki getting pressured in the top lane by 2, but they can't really even activate anything onto him. He may, he may even go for this 1v1.
He wanted to, but he's done it enough times already in this game. The Muramana got completed onto Nijaki. The Bloodthirster Last Whisper combination that Kopp was talking about, the Russian influences, completed for him as well. We're not even 20 minutes in, so I'd either expect a Baron, which I'd actually think Coast is going to advise against with St. Fish's recent smiting track record. Curse is probably just going to look to take inhibitor turrets and maybe even end the game without taking a Baron at all.
It has to be. The 20-minute Infinity Edge just finished. About 2,300 gold is what Kopp is ahead of Mashme. There's your Last Whisper coming in, along with the boots. Doran's from the start. He has been tearing down turrets, and that's not really what you see a Draven doing in a game. These guys have played exceptionally and out of the boundaries of their champions.
They're doing everything and more right now in this game. You don't often see this type of scoreline of 13,000 gold, 6 turrets to 0, then just flip that 6 upside down, and that's how many kills they have. So everything is working for Curse. Their season may be getting switched around after yesterday.
You know what? The fans push them. They push themselves, and it's definitely showing here in the game. Coast, obviously climbing that ladder back in the spring split. That's the reason they are here. It's the reason they're a team in the LCS, and they are still not out of this game. It is grim, though. We can't say they are definitely going to get back with it in one fight. If you have to put it into minutes, this is a 40-minute game for them to get back in. And
we've seen a lot of comebacks here at MLG. I've already written off a few teams before Nexus push. I mean, like, yeah, it's pretty much over. Then they get like a 4-for-0. Cop gets a quadra kill, and they go and beat TSM. This is what happened just yesterday. So Curse trying to secure as much as they can, and I feel like since Coast hasn't even been into their own jungle in the past 5 minutes, Curse feels safe at least starting this Baron. But as soon as Coast comes to approach, I'd either expect Curse to go off of this or try to fight Coast outside of the Baron.
From the outside, Jackie comes to help as well. Very correct, chat. They decide to walk out of this one. And really, this kind of hurts Coast as well, because they don't want to have to be doing this. They want to be warding up, they want to be clearing lanes and not trying to reactionary pressure what Curse is doing.
Curse flanked around Coast.
Coming back around the side, Daydream again. No, a shock blast to the dome piece. It takes down Daydreaming, and it looks like they're going to start heading towards this top lane.
And they're just trying to run down as many people as possible. They slow down Shifter and force the flash.
Everything forced out of that one. Nintendo gets caught in the bush. They're going to turn around to find him. The Javelin goes down. He does get the flag toss, but they're going to worry about the base. So really, they're just deterring the backs.
And right now, Curse is just trying to get as many minions and a growing advantage on Team Coast. Maybe they're going for the clean shutout because they're not taking any big risks, as seen by that very quick Baron peel, and then just trying to run down every individual Coast player in the jungle.
Curse is remembering, I think it was a game against Team Solo Mid where they had a 22-minute game in the LCS at the studio. So they're going to see if they can do that once again and kind of pull one of those into their favor. Give the own medicine back to Coast on this one. A turret going down. That's the inhibitor. Their lanes are pushed up, and they're pushing the top one too.
It is just wall-to-wall pressure here from Curse, top to bottom. Cop and St. Fish is just buddying up, whereas Edward is buddying up with Boy and Nijaki, and this is too much split for Coast to handle.
They are really being spread thin across the map, and right now they need power in numbers. It's not something they can find. We saw Daydreaming go out solo one by one. The security system that I talked about before is giving them those single kills that has allowed now 2 inhibitor turrets.
And this could also be 2 inhibitors if they're not careful. I don't see how Coast is going to try to turn this one around. Zed ultimate's down. Almost all the ultimates are down on Coast except for Jarvan's Cataclysm, and the push is just going to keep continuing.
The mid inhibitor goes down as well. 24 minutes in. All 3 outer inhibitor turrets are going to be crushed for Coast.
And Curse is looking real good right now. There's the hook on, but they don't care because they got another inhibitor going down over in top.
There it is. No, St. Vicious and Cobb taking it down. Oh, but the fight goes on. Jackie very low will probably find a coffin in this fight. He goes down, but it's the 1-for-1 now. The second one in the Zion Spartan. Daydreaming very low. Edwards picking himself up a kill with Thresh. The triple kill for Boy. Mash Me preventing the ace, but can he prevent the win?
Curse will have no shutout today, but they're still going to have a resounding victory. This is the 3rd inhibitor going down. I don't know, due to the shortness of the death timers, if they can end it here, but they've definitely done everything they need to secure themselves this win.
Is actually pretty scary. They're very low on mana here, so they can only retort with a few spells. Mash Me trying to go.
He's getting out of there.
The backside, he's like, follow me, I'm going the right way. You should go with me. The wards go down, so they know where they're going to come off the base. The Nexus is going to be hit up. Curse coming through with an almost perfect game. A 0 turret shutout, and the Nexus taken down at 24-28.
Curse looked real good in that game. That's the best they've played all season. And it's not like Coast is coming off a bad game. Coast dominated their game yesterday.
Wow.
So that was just a brilliant performance by Curse.
Coast picks that they've used before, picks that they've had. Nami, we've seen many double bubbles from Daydream, and it's not like that was something new for him. We talked about how we can hit them. So everybody had first or second choice in their champion pool on Coast right there, and Curse just came out on fire.
Right from the start, getting the red steal, getting Boy an early lead in the game. That's the Curse we know and talk about, and as well, they had enough confidence in Cop early game there to just leave him alone against Zed 1v1 once they gave him that red buff, and it totally worked out for them. They're all benefiting in that game. Nobody played bad in that game for Curse. Total team victory.
Huge plays coming in for Voidboy. Cop definitely filling the shoes of an aggressive AD carry now, so both playstyles sit under his belt. We can use either one.
And that's the benefit that Curse might have moving on here. I feel like they're going to stay aggressive.